And you know, that's the part that really bothers me, not only as a, you know, as a head coach and not only, and, you know, not involved, it doesn't matter what sport. It doesn't matter sport. That's a learned behavior, and they're learning this at home, and you have to battle with that, right? So unless you or your assistant coaches have talked about this, how you're going to react to that. I mean, I can tell you I react as an athletic director. My door is not open for you to come talk about playing time. My coaches run that show. You cannot come and talk to me about what seat or what boat you should be in. That door is not open to you. And yes, I've had athletes who have left our school and gone to private schools. Because that is not what we do, right? That's what coaches do. And you have to be prepared to have that discussion. How about this one, coach? Anyone have that whole syndrome? The stroke seat syndrome? Well, if I'm not in the stroke seat, then I'm quitting. I got chastised one year coming back from Junior Worlds. We took a bronze medal, Junior Worlds, fantastic, good for us. I got chastised because why did I have that stroke in the boat? That stroke never seat raced anybody else in that boat. You should have seen how strong she was, you know, compared to the other girls in that boat. Who cares? She was the best stroke. And oh, by the way, she went on with Kevin Sauer and won a national championship. That's okay. And she was in the stroke seat. How about literal understanding versus this one? Figurative intent. Coach, how do you describe the different seats in the boat? Like, you know how you got the stern pair, you got the middle pair, you got the bow pair. How do you describe that to your athletes? Yeah. Like who sits where and why are you in that seat? Because they're going to ask, why am I in a 2 seat?
Each spot has its own specific role.
Okay.
They each have their own, each of them has a specific role on the team. And what they do best determines where they sit in the boat. And, you know, if they want to move up, you know, they need to work on this or they need to work on that.
Okay, what do we usually say about the bow pair? Come on, we all said it. We've all said it. Oh, you set the boat great. Woo! I'm glad those middle 4 are working so freaking hard, man, because they're the engine room. And I'll set this up for you. Right? I'm skilled. I'm technically sound. The kids are thinking that, right? They know that's what's in their head. You need to understand what's going through their heads when we talk this way and when with kids. And their parents, they hear that same thing. They hear the same thing. So you need to talk about that one in your boathouse. How about this one? The lots of talent, no poor work ethic. We got a lot of that, don't we? Work ethic's pretty tough to come by nowadays. And hopefully we can talk about some things that we can do about that. How about struggles technically, but amazing work ethic? Those are the ones that break my heart. I mean, these are the kids who are really, they're out there every day, working hard, every practice on time, struggle technically. So we need to do something for those kids. So you're going to have to start thinking about how you package your workouts, and that's why I like following these guys, because they're pretty good at that stuff, as you heard. They're really good at that stuff, and I've worked with Eric for a long time. And I'll tell you what, you know that thing, challenged by choice, or you're going to do it by, you know, success at your level, that's what it's all about. How about this one we see a lot of now, the big erg, and that not fit, meaning overweight in most cases. We've come to this, and now this is what's happening a lot. We have big ergs, but you know they can't find the water with their blade with a flashlight and a road map. You agree? I mean, that's what we're coming up with. So now how are we going to work with that group? Because they're different. And do we put all these people on all the same 8 and say, okay, go, and you're going to try to coach that? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So while we're sitting here thinking about some of these things, I want to talk a little bit about the functional training. I want to switch gears a little bit because I think I've got you at least stimulated enough to know what some of your jobs are. We'll come back to you. You're not off the hook quite yet. Because really it's your role in how you make the athlete successful. But let's just take a little bit about the kind of athletes that we're creating. And I'm not convinced after listening to Mike Tatey, we're creating a lot of athletes. And I'm not so sure what the answer to this problem is, but I'm going to share with you some of my frustration. I'm going to share with you the direction that we're heading in, right? And then hopefully you will be part of this movement. So I think we all agree there's been a decline in overall athleticism, and I heard a couple of people in the last session say, why do you think that is? Why are we seeing a decline in athleticism? Let's get that out there. Anybody, just shout out, yeah. Okay, someone gives it to them, not working for it. I mean, well-rounded athleticism. I mean, a kid, if I took a kid out, the kid could do some push-ups, could run a little bit, could play soccer, could actually go for a swim and do okay in a swimming, outside in a swimming pool. You know, just general, you know how we used to say we're going outside and play and have fun? I don't think a lot of kids that can do that. So I'm saying there's been a decline in that, and now we got to find out why you think that is.
Now, are you saying just rowing or overall?
Oh, no. No, an athlete's an athlete. Athlete's an athlete.
We're doing a lot of cuts in schools for gym class, gym class, a lot more often.
Ninth grade, first thing in the budget, where's it go? Gone.
Repeating interests, game stations, computers, too much inside stuff.
Love it.
Earlier specialization in sports.
That's a key word.
Community safety or a perceived lack of community safety, you know.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of places like these guys were talking about earlier. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Yes. Yeah, I have to get so many liability policies, it's crazy. You're absolutely right on that one. So we have a decline in overall athleticism. We have an alarming increase in injuries. Gee, that's a surprise because we don't really have great athletes anymore. And let's talk about why those reasons. We just heard this, the coach up here just said specialization. Well, we're getting skill specific pretty early, right? I mean, we all see the, you know, the little kids out there on the soccer field, right? They're this big, right? And if you're not fantastic in soccer by the time you're 11, that's the end of the road for you, right? How about the kids who are playing year-round soccer? They don't do any other sports, right? And that's a real issue. And how about parents that are so involved in it? I mean, they just go crazy with their kids, getting them involved in everything. I went to Olympic development program tryout one time for my daughter, and I told this in the last group, and I thought it was hilarious. Soccer, 11 years old, Olympic development program, goes there, head coach, a coach from the senior men's program stands there, has all the parents around, little girls are out there running around, you know, doing their thing. They're all pretty darn good. He says, okay, folks, gather up here a little bit. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our program. Thank you for coming. It's a great day. Your girls are going to really be excited by this, and they get to be part of the U.S. Olympic development program. He said, but I think you all agree with me that if your daughter does not make the team today, that she should probably find another sport. And there's parents. Yeah. He goes, folks, I'm kidding. Come on now. Right? Can you imagine that? 11 years old, your soccer career is done because we've invested hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars in you, and we've only played you 365 days a year. By God, get better. Right? And those little girls should have been out doing what I did, you know, on swings, running around doing crazy stuff and, you know, breaking arms and whatever they have to do, right? And so we're not exposing them to different motor programs. We have biased one-side training, and I put bias because I don't want you to go away as a rowing coach thinking, well, it's because of the starboard side sort of thing. There are programs out there, and I don't know how many of them are. How many people each year you demand that your program switch from starboard to port? Fantastic. Like why not? Especially at the early ages, why not? You know, the Junior B development program we run for the junior women, the 14 and 15-year-olds, they do 2 days of sweep, 2 days of sculling, but they switch it up. Then they go to a high ropes course. That's kind of fun stuff, right? I mean, that's the important piece. You need to have that. You can't be the speed, strength, stamina, suppleness, all that. You know, it should say we're blend. You have to blend all this, and it has to be happening all the time. Monkey see, monkey do. We got a lot of that, right? And that's for both kids and coaches.